लांघायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणम् नमयों विष्णुपादाय श्रीगौरप्रियमूर्तये श्रीमते भक्तिवल्लभतीर्थगोस्वामिनामिने कृपया क्षमतामपराधिजनं कलुषायुतशक्तसुदीननरं सुपथे परिचालय सर्वदिनं प्रणमामि च माधवदेवपदम् वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्द। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 12th chapter. We heard that undivided knowledge is the ultimate reality. Everything else is temporary. This material world, earth, then the atomic particle, all other elements in this world are all temporary. You got wet? No? You're okay? You may catch cold. You didn't wear raincoat? No. Okay. So, all the elements, material elements, and everything else in this material world are all temporary. Then what is ultimate truth, absolute truth? Absolute truth is realized as Brahman, Paramatma, or the personal feature. Devotees particularly, they have the realization of the personal feature, and we heard in the purport by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur that personal feature of Supreme Lord is complete realization of the Supreme. The Brahman aspect is a partial realization. Paramatma is also partial, but the realization of the Supreme Personality is a complete realization. Why? Because he is Brahmanohi Pratishtaham. I am the source of Brahman. Purnam Brahma Sanatanam. He is Purna Brahma. And he is living in everyone's heart as Paramatma. All these are the partial manifestations of the Supreme Lord. But the Lord in his personal feature is complete. So that is the absolute reality. And when one understands that absolute reality, then once all the material egos, false vanity, mundane attachments, and the troubles that come out of these attachments, everything will be finished. Then how to realize that absolute, which is beyond the three modes of material nature? You are telling that this is gunatita, nirguna. We are in the three modes of material nature, and you are telling that this knowledge is gunatita, beyond three modes of material nature. Then how can one realize this? Bharat is telling, Rahuganai tat tapasana jati. Rahugana, one cannot attain that by undergoing severe penances. One may say, I will undergo severe penances, I will do lot of tapasya. By that tapasya I can attain. Bharat is telling Rahugan, not by tapasya, not by performance of penance. Nacha ijjaya, nor by worshipping the demigods. You may say that by worshipping various demigods I can attain. No, nacha ijjaya, not by worship. Na nirvapanat. Oh, okay, I will give up my family life. I will become a mendicant. I will become a renunciate. By that I can attain Supreme Lord. No, na nirvapanat, grihadva, or I will execute my household duties so nicely. I will perform my material household duties, all the responsibilities, I will take care of them so nicely as per the scriptures. Na grihadva, not even by that, nor by observing brahmacharya, nor by vanaprastha. By none of these things, means if you want to attain that supreme absolute knowledge, none of these paths are, capable of doing so. Na chandasa, not by, following the brahmacharya. Chandasa means following the brahmacharya, the celibate life. Not even by that. Naiva jalagni suryaya, not even by, there are two meanings of this: worshipping the water god, the fire god, and the sun god. The other thing is jalagni suryaya. Jala means by drowning oneself in the water till this point. Even in scorching, in the winter, in the biting cold winter, performing tapasya. And Agni, in scorching heat, means in extreme summers, being surrounded by the fire, sitting in the middle of the fire, in the scorching heat, and then trying to perform penance. Not even by that you can attain. One is undergoing so many troubles to the body, but he is telling, no, it is not possible. Suryaya, by, staying upside down, head on the bottom and legs up, and seeing the sun. Suryaya. There is a kind of a penance. You have to put your head down, legs up, and then see the sun. Perform penance. Not even by that. Mataji is thinking, can I do this? No, very difficult. Not even, forget about seeing the sun, even just by putting the head down for 5 minutes, finished. Blood circulation. So, even by performing all these penances, Jadabharat is telling one cannot attain the Supreme Lord. Then what is the path? If you are telling that it is so difficult, there should be one path. it is impossible, or it is, or, it does not exist. He is telling, Bina Mahat Padarajobhishekam, without washed by being washed by the dust of the lotus feet of the devotees. Means only by bathing in the dust of the lotus feet of the devotees one can attain that knowledge. Because the pure devotees, they have realization of the Supreme. When one gets the dust of their lotus feet, means when they get even a trace of their mercy, then all these, the knowledge about the Supreme will be revealed automatically. Hiranyakashipu asked Prahlad, not Prahlad, first, his two gurus, Shanda and Amarka, who is giving my son all these instructions? Rahimam, Rakshamam, it's not we. Your child is learning so nicely, whatever we are teaching him is learning so nicely, but we don't know who is teaching them. This about Vishnu Bhakti, who is teaching, we don't know. We are teaching political science, we are teaching him, morality, sense enjoyment, what is dharma, we are teaching all these things, but we are not teaching him Vishnu Bhakti. Who is teaching, we don't know. Then Hiranyakashipu asked Prahlad, who is teaching you this? If it is not your gurus, who is that? Then Prahlad Maharaj says, Matirna Krishna Paratisvatova. No, it is not possible by anyone whose sense organs are busy in material sense gratification. Matirna Krishna Paratasvatova mito abhipadyeta grihavratanam. Grihavratas, those who have taken a vow of sense enjoyment only. They have dedicated their life, their senses, their money, their energy, everything for the service of house, family and the related. Mito abhipatyeta grihavratanam adanta gobi vishatam tamishram. Adanta gobhi. Go means senses. Thus, the senses are so much drowned in material sense enjoyment that they cannot come out of that ever. So, Matirna Krishna, by their effort, they cannot make anyone Krishna Bhakta or give the knowledge of Supreme. Paratah Swatova, nor by a combined effort of a society of all these sense enjoyers. All the sense enjoyers, a big collectively, they are trying to bless one with Krishna Bhakti. Not possible. Neither by their blessings, nor by the blessings, collective blessings of the all society members who are all sense enjoyers. Not possible. Then, who is, why? Because nate vidu swarthagatim Vishnu, because they don't know that their real interest lies in service of Vishnu. Nate viduhu, they don't know. Durashaya ye bahirartha manina, because they are having durasha. Durasha means, bad hope that, oh, I will get happiness here, happiness here, happiness here. Mistaken hope. So they cannot give any knowledge about Krishna Bhakti. Then who can give? Naisha mati tavat urukramangri sprishati anartha upagamo yadartha mahiyasham padarajobhishekam nishkinchananam na grinita yavat. Prahlad Maharaj is telling that Naisham matim tavat urukramangri, a person's mind can never get attached to the lotus feet of Supreme Lord Krishna. Sprishati anartha upagama, they can never become liberated from these material attachments. Yad artha, they cannot get the actual welfare. Till when? Mahiyasam padarajobhishekam, unless until they are not getting bathed in the lotus feet of the dust of the lotus feet of Mahiyasham, great devotees. What kind of devotees? Nishkinchananam, the Nishkinchana devotees who have got no material possessions, who have got no material attachments, who have got no material desires. Nishkinchananamna grinitayavat. As long as they don't accept the dust of the lotus feet of the pure devotees who have no material attachments, their mind can never get fixed in Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. So the thing is, if we want to understand the Supreme Absolute, there is only one way. That is to get the dust of the lotus feet of the pure devotees. What is the dust of the lotus feet of pure devotees? Simply Guru Maharaj is walking, we are putting the dust on our head. Oh, now I became Krishna Bhakta. It means that we have to identify ourselves as the servant of Sri Guru. Not physically just putting some dust. It is also required. I am not saying that it is not. But it does not signify just that. The three things that are required for the progress in devotion is the dust feet of the Vaishnavas, the water that has washed the Vaishnavas' feet, and the remnant prasad. These three are bhakti bal, these are the strengths of devotion. The sadhaka should accept these things. But in another sense, it also means that we have to become the dust of the lotus feet of the pure devotees. Means we have to remain their servant. We have to serve them. Then it will be possible to understand the Absolute. That is what he is telling, that other than that, whatever activity you do, you perform severe penance, you observe brahmacharya, you become a sannyasi, you do a very nice household duties, or you worship the demigods, you do anything. But unless until you don't get the dust of the pure devotees, you will not get the knowledge of the Supreme. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes in the commentary, এই ভগবত তত্ত্বজ্ঞান লাভও মহতের কৃপা বশত আবির্ভূত ভক্তি ব্যতীত হয় না, ইহা বলিতেছেন দুইটি শ্লোকে. In these two verses it is being told that without the devotion that becomes manifest by the mercy of the pure devotees, in Chaitanya Charitamrita Sanatana Shiksha, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Bhaktira Moola Hoy Sadhu Sangha. The root cause of devotion is Sadhu Sangha. Without the association of sadhus, one cannot get even devotion. Very, very essential element in Krishna Bhakti is Sadhu Sangha. That is why Sadhu Sangha Sarva Shastra Koy, Lavamatra Sadhu Sangha Sarva Siddhi Hoy. The scriptures repeatedly tell that you have to associate with the sadhus, you have to associate with the sadhus. Even a trace of association with the sadhus will, Sarva Siddhi will bring highest welfare. All auspiciousness is brought upon such a person. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has mentioned 5 principal forms of bhakti. What are they? Nama Sankirtan, Sadhu Sangha, Nama Sankirtan, Bhagavata Shravan, Shraddhaya Srimurti Sevan, Mathura Vas. These are the 5 limbs of devotion, principal limbs of devotion that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had told. The first is Sadhu Sangha. First thing, the very first thing. Among 1008 limbs of devotion that are mentioned in the scriptures, Rupa Goswami had mentioned only 64 limbs. In the Narad Pancharatra and other scriptures, there are 1008 types of devotional limbs mentioned. But out of that, many are filtered, combined together, and 64 written by Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Srimad Bhagavatam talks about 9 principal forms of devotion. Prahlad Maharaj is speaking to Hiranyakashipu. He told 9 principal forms of devotion. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has further brought it down to 5. And out of that, Sadhu Sangha is the first. Because Sadhu Sanghe Krishna Bhakti Anayase hoy. In the association of the sadhus, one can perform devotion very easily. Without the association of sadhus, it is very difficult. We see in the Western countries, devotees are there. How many difficulties they are facing to perform Hari Bhajan? Because there is no proper association. And when we have got association in India, we got association, but we are not valuing it. That is always the problem. When we have, we don't value it. When it is not there, we'll weep for it. But when this facility has been given to us by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by the devotees, we shall take complete use of it. So Sadhu Sangha is the first among the 5 principal forms of devotion that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had mentioned. Because in the association of the sadhus, bhaktistu bhagavat bhakta sangena parijayate. In the association of the sadhus, one will get bhakti, not outside. Bhaktistu bhagavat bhakta sangena parijayate. In the association of devotees only it is possible. Sadhu Sangha. Then the second is Nama Sankirtana. How can we chant Nama Sankirtana? साधु संगे कृष्ण नाम सर्वशास्त्र कय साधु संगे कृष्ण नाम यही मात्र चाहे संसार जिनते आर कोनो वस्तु नाय. Sadhu Sangha Krishna Nam, in the association of the sadhus, Krishna's name, chanting of the Krishna's name, this is the only thing we should aspire for. Sansara jinite aar kono vastu nahi. If one wants to cross over this material world, there is nothing superior to this path. To chant in the company of the sadhus. When can we chant? By sitting alone? No. Srila Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur has told that Nirjana Bhajan is Kevala Kaitav. It is simply duplicity, hypocrisy. Tava Harinama Kevala Kaitav. By sitting alone, I will do bhajan. Prabhupada told Kevala Kaitav. Kevala Kaitav means it is nothing but hypocrisy. He did not say it is hypocrisy. He said it is nothing but hypocrisy. Means it cannot be anything other than hypocrisy. Kevala Kaitav. Therefore, Prabhu Sanatane Parama Jatane Shiksha Dilajaha Chinta se sab. Whatever Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had instructed to Sanatana Goswami, meditate upon them. Very, very consciously meditate upon them. There he told about Sadhu Sangha. Brahmanda Brahmite, no, that is Rupa Shiksha. So there also in Sanatana Shiksha also it talks about Sadhu Sangha. That one will get the association of the sadhus only in their company one can get the Sambandha Jnana. Once anarthas will be freed, one will get the taste to the holy name. One will get asakti to Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. Everything is possible in the company of the sadhus. Therefore, Prabhu Sanatane Parama Jatane Shikha Dilajaha Chinta Sesa. Whatever the Lord has instructed to Sanatana Goswami, meditate very, very consciously. Very, very deeply meditate upon them. So, the second limb of Krishna Bhakti that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told, Nama Sankirtan, that also should be done in the company of sadhus only. In the company of sadhus, we will be able to understand the glories of the holy name. If we are sitting alone and chanting, nobody will be there to correct us, rectify us. Hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram Ram. Where is Hare Ram, Hare Ram? They will immediately remind us, you are sleeping. When we are sitting alone and while reading, yes, mind will go here and there. Sitting alone reading Bhagavat and you are sleeping, nobody is waking you up. And you are sitting in Bhagavat class and you are sleeping, somebody will wake you up. Isn't it? So, you have to be in the company of the sadhus. In the company of sadhus, that's why, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had very clearly, Srila Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur had very clearly told. He did not, take the side of the Viviktanandis, staying alone and doing bhajan. He always took the side of the Goshtanandis, those who are in the middle of the devotees. That's why Prabhupada had established mutts. He could be sitting alone in the jungle in Mayapur and then he would be chanting. If that were happened, then today we cannot see so many persons in Mayapur Dham. If he had not preached, if he had not instructed to preach, this would not have happened. So, Sadhu Sange Krishnanam, the second limb that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave, that is also possible only by Sadhu Sangha. The third limb of devotion, Bhagavat Shravan. Where can we hear Bhagavat from? Pado Bhagavata Vaishnava Sane Ekantika Charan Lau Chaitanya Charane. Sarup Damodar Goswami is instructing. Pado Bhagavata Vaishnava Sane. Go to a Vaishnava and learn Srimad Bhagavatam. Don't study by your own, mental capacity or intellect. Go to a Vaishnava to study Srimad Bhagavatam. Ekanta Sharanal ho Vaishnava Charane, Chaitanya Charane, and take one pointed shelter to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then you will be able to understand the true purports of Srimad Bhagavatam. So the third limb of devotion, principal limb of devotion that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told, Bhagavata Shravan, that is also in the company of sadhu. Sadhu Sangha is there in that also. The next is Shraddhaya Srimurti Sevan. The fourth principal limb that Mahaprabhu told is to perform the worship of the deities with faith. With faith. Where do you get faith from? Sadhus. Only sadhus will give us the faith in the devotion, in the worship of the deity. Otherwise we think, oh, my Jagannath is nice looking than your Jagannath. So we are comparing, this is made of wood, oh, I have Sonar Gauranga. You see in Puri, if you go, there is Sonar Gauranga, golden Gauranga. Many devotees don't go there because Gauranga is not Sonar or Lohar. Sona means gold, Loha means metal or iron. Iron Mahaprabhu, golden Mahaprabhu is not there. Mahaprabhu is Mahaprabhu. So we will identify like this only. Material identifications. But this is not Shraddha. Shraddhaya Srimurti Sevan means with faith, serving the deities with faith. Where do we get that faith from? We get that faith only in the company of the Vaishnavas, only when we hear Hari Katha. Naam Vigrah Swarup Teen Ek Roop Teen Bhed Nai Teen Chidananda Roop. When we hear this from the Vaishnavas, then only we will be able to understand. So even in the fourth limb of devotion, Shraddhaya Srimurti Sevan, there is Sadhu Sangha. In the fifth, that is Mathura Vas, staying in Mathura. Staying in Mathura means, what is the meaning of staying in Mathura? Simply go and physically locate yourself in Mathura. No, that is not Mathura Vas. Yat tirtha buddhi salilena karhichit janeshu abhigyeshu sayeva gokhara. A person who thinks that simply staying in Dham, simply taking a dip in the water is tirtha vas or tirtha brahman or going to tirtha, that person is nothing but an ass, a donkey. Means staying in the Dham means staying in the company of devotees. Yatra gayanti mad bhakta tatra tisthami Narada. My dear Narad, wherever my devotees are singing my glories, I stay there. That is my Dham. What is it? Sadhu Sangha. Stay in the company of sadhus where Krishna Katha is going on, that is Mathura Vas. Because wherever the pure devotees are singing, that is where Krishna is located. So, that is Dham. Krishna is located or Krishna is situated means what? That is Dham. So, Mathura Vas means what? There are two kinds of Mathura Vas, Tirtha Vas. One is Laukiki and other is Tattviki. Simply staying in Mathura physically, according to others, oh, you are Dhamavasi, you are staying in Mayapur, oh, you are Dhamavasi, you are very fortunate. And we think I am very fortunate because I am living in Dham. But another thing is Tattvika Brajavas. Tattvika means ontologically, in reality, actuality. Srila Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, my Prabhu, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, when he was ill, he was taken from Surabhi Kunj to Calcutta. Bhaktivinoda Thakur was staying in Calcutta. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur told, my Prabhu is not staying in Kali's place, Calcutta. Kalikata. Previously it was Kalikata. My Prabhu is not staying in the Kali's place, Kalikata. Because wherever my Prabhu is residing, that is Dham. Wherever the pure devotees reside, that is Dham. Our Guru Maharaj said, wherever our Gurudev had established Math, that is Dham. Whether it is Bombay or Delhi or Chandigarh or whether it is in India, in Russia, in Japan, wherever it is. Wherever the pure devotees have established the temple, that is Dham. Because Supreme Lord has advented by the desire of the pure devotee. So, Dham Vas, the fifth principal limb of devotion that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had prescribed, that is also possible by Sadhu Sangha only. So, if you essentially see, all the principal limbs of devotion are based on Sadhu Sangha and nothing else. So that is why it is told that devotion is attained, or the devotion gets manifested in the heart only by the blessings of the pure devotees. He Rahugan, etat purvokta rupa trividha gyan tapasya prabhritir dwara prapta hava jaina. My dear Rahugana, whatever jnana or realization of the Lord, the knowledge about Supreme Lord, whether it is Brahman, Paramatma or the personality feature, none of these things are possible by tapasya, by penances. If we are performing severe penances, then the Lord will be obliged to come. It is not so. Tanmadye tapah hoite che chitter ekagrata. Tapa means to concentrate the mind. Concentrate the mind means control of the mind is tapasya. Ijya bolite yagyadi vaidika karma. And ijya means performance of ritualistic activities as per the karma kanda part of the scriptures. Scriptures talk about several parts: karma kanda, jnana kanda, bhakti kanda. So, performing the ritualistic activities as per the karma kanda is ijya. Nirvapanam annadir yatha yogya vitaran. Nirvapanam means to do charity activities, noble activities. Means, when will that happen? Tyaga. When one is renounced, one has no desire for anything. Oh, you take this, nothing belongs to me, everything belongs to Lord. So nirvapana, not by charity. Grihang, grihastochito paropakaradi, and by staying in the house, performing the household duties nicely, or trying to bring welfare upon others by staying in the house, not even by that. Chanda, Veda Abhyas, by going through the Vedas, by studying the Vedas nicely. Jalagni Suryaihi, Jal, Agni or Surya Sahayoge Tapasyar Acharan. So performing tapasya in the fire, in the sun and in the water. By none of these things one can attain that knowledge. That knowledge is attained only through devotion, which in turn is attained by the blessings of the pure devotees. So, the purport is, without the blessings of the devotees, nobody can attain that transcendental or absolute knowledge. Shall we start the new verse or? Shall we start new verse? यत्रोत्तम श्लोक गुणानुवादः प्रस्तूयते ग्राम्य कथा विघातः निषेवाम्यन्यो अन्यो अनुदिनं मुमुक्षोर्मतिं सतीं यच्छति वासुदेवे. जे सकल महाभागवत गणेर सभाय विषय वार्ता प्रसंग नाशन भगवत गुणानुकीर्तन प्रकृष्ट रूपे कीर्तित है, ताहादेर मुखोद्गीर्ण से सकल कथा सतत आदर पूर्वक श्रवण करिते करिते मुमुक्षु गणेरवु मोक्ष वासना विदूरित होइया भगवान वासुदेवे शुद्धारतिर उदय होइया थाके. I cannot complete this translation in 2 minutes or 3 minutes. But I will just indicate it and we will go through the details of it tomorrow. In the assembly of the Mahabhagavatas, the great souls, they talk about the subject matters where all the material subjects are completely finished. By discussing whose topics, all the material subjects are automatically finished. And true glorification of Supreme Lord is happening only in the assembly of the pure devotees, Mahabhagavatas. In the company of such Mahabhagavatas, those who constantly hear the glories of Supreme Lord with great reverence, with great faith, by that even those who are desirous of liberation, their desire for liberation will be finished and they would want to get, they would get one pointed attachment, pure attachment to the lotus feet of Vasudeva. Means by listening the Harikatha from the lips of a pure devotee, all our desires to discuss about material topics will be finished. And the Lord will be, actual glories of the Lord will become manifest. Then what will happen? Even those who are wanting to, desirous of liberation, mukti, they will leave aside the desire for liberation. Oh, it's so insignificant in front of the attachment to Vasudeva, and therefore they develop that attachment to him. Okay, we will hear in detail tomorrow. So very, very.
It's very emotional.
So you want me to speak for some more time? But they have to go and take prasad. They will say Maharaj is already scratching his head. Oh, I have to listen more. They are sitting from 7 o'clock Harikatha. So they should take a break. Because after some time the mind's acceptance will go down. So they also want to hear nicely. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan Panchatattvatmak Shri Gaura Hari ki jai. Paramaradhitam Patita Pavana Stotra Sata Shri Srimad Bhakti Vallabh Tirtha Goswami Shri Guru Maharaj ki jai. Nitya Lila Pravishthom Vishnupad Pramam Stotra Sata Shri Srimad Bhakti Daita Madhava Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Jagat Guru Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Shri Rupanuga Guru Varga ki jai. Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Das Raghunath Shad Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrind ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrind ki jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavat Mahapuran ki jai. Shri श्री कृष्ण द्वैपायन वेदव्यास महामुनि की जय। श्री श्री जड़ भरत की जय। श्री रघुगण राजा की जय। समागत भागवत श्रवणकारी भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री हरिनाम प्रभु की जय। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदे।